Take care. I think it's time to start the evening. We can leave the door open. I think we can also start the broadcast. I will ask the judges, please make your way to the judges' table. And to the audience here present now locally, please use the servings that we have already if you need something. Presenters yet not so much. But for the audience, please go ahead and use the opportunity to get a cup of coffee or whatever you need. And now I'm just checking that we are still online. Are we good?
Yes, we have been online for the past 30 minutes.
Excellent. And we can hear the sound as well. All right. So while we are getting settled here, I will just briefly introduce myself. My name is Professor Pekka Abrahamsson. I'm the director of the Software Startup Laboratory here in Jyväskylä University, also the professor of Information Systems and Software Engineering. It is my honor to welcome you to the first European course on growth hacking, successfully completed, and today we will be hearing the results of this course. And I call this evening Growth Hacking Experience, and it will provide you some surprising content, hopefully surprising ideas, and I trust that it gives you the tools to take your startups and endeavors to greater success. And I will now proceed with to say a few words here when I get my slides going. Excellent. So some important feature of tonight which you should be aware. So we are streaming live to the world here from Jyväskylä. And the streaming address is available at www.startuplab.fi/stream. And please, you can tweet the address and share it with whom you want. Please do so. And now, all of you are also business angels tonight. While we're not pitching directly company ideas, but we are still presenting some exciting content. You can see the address here, bit.ly/Riot Cáfe 2019. And from there you can access the voting. And after you have seen all the presentations, please use the opportunity and do vote. We have great awards for the best presentations and of tonight. So today, when I was thinking how do I spread the news that we are having this event, I wrote a small piece of article in LinkedIn. I titled the article that growth hacking is the new oil in startup education. I have been teaching personally. I have been teaching startups since 2011 or 12. I started in Italy. And over the years, I've noted that although we get a lot of people participating to courses, a lot of excitement is created, courses are typically fun, there's no exam, students get to do new things that they never tried out, and then when the course ends, nothing happens. So all that fun, all that excitement, in a way, it disappears, and the startups don't come out. So I would say maybe 10% of the students actually go further or even less. And that's how it has been in the past years. So I started wondering that maybe we are doing the thing in a wrong way. Maybe we are not doing that, maybe we are not teaching the right content. And now understanding something that we are perhaps missing or we have been overlooking, growth hacking is one of those things. While I will not go in deep what growth hacking is, because today that is the topic of today's show, so I will let the students to elaborate on that. But I argue that it makes a significant difference in any startupper's life, but also it can make a significant difference in the career of the people in this room. Even if you don't become a startupper, you can still use the techniques that you will learn and hear today. And you will get attention to yourself, and whether that's a startup or your own career, ends up to you. So please go like the article. If you don't like it, still like it. That's how it works. It's the new business. Now, as in a typical startup course, what you do is that you have students developing ideas. So in this course, as growth hacking is a new theme, we took a radically different approach. We decided that we will provide and develop something that others have never done before. So we have been reading books. There are about maybe 10 books about growth hacking, and each of those books are now summarized. They are in the slide share, so you can go there, you can browse through the summary of the book provided by our work to understand the essence of that contribution. We have developed 2 board games. We have 2 exciting board games that teach you how growth hacking works. And then we wanted to try growth hacking ourselves, so we came up with a completely new concept. It's called 60 Edu. It will revolutionize the learning experience. We have been providing and developing what we call powerful growth hacking tips in just 60 seconds. So the whole education regarding learning different techniques is squeezed into this 60-second time slot. And today we will actually experiment with people here and the audience online. You'll be seeing these 60-second, let's say, sparks about growth hacking, and then we will report to you how they work in practice. So we'll be also trying them out, how they actually work. So everything we have done is out in open, using SlideShare, Figshare, YouTube, tools and technologies. So the program today is mainly about growth hacking. So the big part of the program is understanding first what is 60 Edu. There will be a tiny lecture in the beginning. The lecture lasts only 5 minutes because we are pressed with time and the food is waiting for us. We will not use a lot of time for. So Pauline, who is one of our students, will start with summarizing the essence in growth hacking gaining traction. And then you can see, and we have been giving you the program, we have all kinds of different themes on surrounding growth hacking. And towards the end, we go beyond just growth hacking and show how the 60 Edu works in any field. And after we have done this 1 hour, we have great jury here, judges, who will be then participating with us in a panel, and I will now show you soon who are our judges. But before I do that, I will also say that we are giving the awards already 15 to 8 o'clock. So 7:45 we are giving the best presentation and the audience favorite. So go remember to vote as well. And finally we have some networking event here locally. So jury and the panelists. And I have been searching Google for pictures, and I've successfully located 3 of them. So all the panelists were. So we have Pasi Korpela, who is sitting on Watson AI from IBM here in Jyväskylä. And maybe Pasi, you just say a word to the people here. Is that what are you specifically looking forward today?
Yeah, so thanks for the opportunity to come here. Thanks Pekka and thanks everybody. Pasi Korpela from IBM Disruptive Innovations Hub at the Agora Center here, or the old Agora Center I heard. We are mainly here to help startups, so that's why this opportunity to be here as well. It's very key thing for us, and we are helping companies to leverage these new technologies. So I'm looking for very good ideas how new startups can use those couple of those things that are already listed here, and how AI could actually help there as well. So that's my kind of like my perspective for today. Thank you, Pekka.
Thank you, Pasi. And next gentleman, we have a very tall picture there, Markus Mäntynen from Kasvu.io. And,
Yes.
and Markus is known to be the best, as I label him, the best ever startup coach in the Northern Hemisphere, and that covers the whole world.
That is so humble of you. So instead of just Pasi's head, so I'm like 2/3 of here. So well, there's a saying that vision without execution is hallucination.
Markus, if you come here,
So there's a lot.
people see.
So it will be heard better, right?
Seen better because
Seen better, yeah. So today I'm looking about what kind of solutions you are bringing to your startup entrepreneurs that help them to understand how to execute better. So it's not only about the hallucination. So basically meaning go-to-market services. So how to take these great ideas, test them fast in a short runaway into a market. So that is the one I'm looking, and also how close those startups are kind of because there's kind of a flow of money. There's a funnel, and what kind of a business models you are proposing. So if those business models are so complex, so they are kind of business logic is too away from the stream of money from that funnel. So I want to see what kind of solutions you can bring to make those business models that are closer to that stream of money.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Please.
Yeah.
All right. I think we can close the door. And finally, we have a professor from the business school, Mari Suoranta. So if Mari, just few sentences.
Okay, hello everyone. Some of you know me already because I've been teaching courses together with Pekka. And I also study startups and I teach also marketing in addition to entrepreneurship courses. And maybe here I also mentioned that I'm a partner in a seed investment company, so keep that in mind. This spring, once again, we will give someone 50,000 euros. So if you have ideas which would fit need that kind of a seed investment, please contact me.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, we do have maybe one question after each presentation, but we keep it very short. We want to keep it rolling. Please make notes. We will take them up after our discussion. Now, let's see. Could we go back a few slides just to show back the address for the voting? And yes, a few more back. So here we have the address for the voting. Yes. So please do put this, take a picture of it. And it's pretty easy to remember, bit.ly Riot Cáfe 2019. And then you get access to the SurveyMonkey, and you can do and also people online, let's do this. And let's give the best votes. I think it's time to get to the real part of the show, and here the 60 Edu Growth Hacking presentations, starting with the presentation from the book Traction and provided by Paulina. So let's give a big round of applause to Paulina.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. So now I'm going to present to you one of the books that we've been reading during the course, and this one we found quite interesting, relevant, and also practical. So that's why we based some of the course content on some suggestions from the book. And the name of the book is Traction: A Startup Guide to Getting Customers. and it was published in 2014 by Weinberg and Myers. And the main topic of the book is that to enable growth for every company, it's important to get visibility, which is traction, and we'll go later to what is actually traction, but this is something that enables the growth for your business. So here is the agenda, but since we are limited on time, we will go just through the main points of the book. And let's start with defining the word traction. So traction is basically indication of your business growth in numbers, and they are growing quite fast, and you can easily say that, okay, now I have a demand from customers. And the authors present 19 channels that startups can utilize for their business, and from these channels they can basically get traction. But the main problem is that usually when it comes to marketing and like promotional activities, startups are quite biased on what is working and what is not working, and they're not open-minded to all the solutions that are actually available for them. So the authors are pointing out the importance of each channels and how each channel can actually help your business, and they're giving some tactics for each channel, as well as demonstrate each channel effectiveness on real cases of some startups that have been utilizing them and that brought results. And since there are so many channels, and it's quite frustrating on which you have to focus first and which you have to try, they suggest this framework, which is called Bullseye, and it consists of 5 steps. First step is that you have to go through each channel and list advantages and disadvantages of every channel that you might think of. Then you go to the second step and rank all these channels according to this framework, which kind of looks like a bullseye. So you define the channels that seem to be long shots, and you might think that they need much time or other resources. So you put them on the back, then you define the potentially working ones, and among those you find the ones that are most promising. And then you basically prioritize them and choose only the ones that are in the inner circle and limit them to 3. And then you go to the 4th stage, which is testing, and you test those 3 channels with a small amount of money and time, for a limited time, for example, and then you see which one is the cheapest, which one is more effective, and which brings some customers to you or not. And then you focus on the one which was the best, and then you optimize your tactics there and put all your efforts in this channel. If nothing works, you have to repeat from the first step. Basically, that's the framework, and this is something that we did during our course. So we chose some of the channels, and we created this project 60edu, and then we tried to promote it through some of the channels and see what results it will bring. Yeah, so if I have some time, I can also point out this important rule that was mentioned in the book, and it is basically about one of the biggest problem of all startups, because they think that if they develop their product explicitly good, then the customers will come, but this is wrong. And no matter how good is the product, if you don't market it very well, they will just not find you, or there will be some other company that does marketing better, and then you will be screwed. So in order not to fail, you have to dedicate 50% of time on product development and 50% of time on marketing activities to get traction.
Ladies and gentlemen, Polina. Now we can change to the next presenter, so already making the way, and I can ask the audience question: how often do you find the startup facing the product trap? Is it something that you have seen happening in action? Yeah. Now nodding is good. You can.
I have, yes.
So to online audience as well, they confirmed it is a reality. Now we will actually, now we have, the theory has been covered, you know what some of the key techniques. Now no more presentations with slides, we have something else coming up. Johannes will present the 60 Edu concept. Johannes, please.
Hello everybody. What is 60 Edu and what it does have to do with our Lean Startup course? So we start study about growth hacking by reading around 10 books and we review them for each other and tell about what it's about. But long book, it will take some time to explain everything what's on there, and if you are not interested about the topic, you may spend lots of hours on there before you notice that, okay, this is not for me. So we were thinking about we need to build some new kind of platform how we can get access to information very fast and very quick. So let's see a video and think about what is 60 Edu. Here we go.
What is 60 Edu? 60 Edu is about creating educational videos that are about 60 seconds long. It can be difficult to find short summaries or introductions to various topics online, and this is where 60 Edu will help. We aim to offer informative videos that only give you the essentials in order to get you started on a topic. If the topic ends up interesting you, you can then build on what you learned on 60 Edu, either by watching more of our videos or by studying elsewhere. We have started by focusing on startups and growth hacking. Growth hacking refers to expanding a business rapidly through various so-called growth hacking techniques, such as content marketing, email marketing, and search engine optimization. However, as 60 Edu grows, we will focus on a wider range of topics. We aim to cover various information technology and software business-related topics. 60 Edu was founded in the University of Jyväskylä, Finland, and specifically in the startup laboratory of the university. In the future, we hope that other contributors take interest in the concept as well. You can follow us on Facebook, through our homepage, as well as here on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
Hoo-ah. Thank you. Thank you, Johannes. We are already moving forward, yes. So we are speeding up. And again, the next presenter can come up here. So now you know the concept, and now you can already benefit from the concept. And we will start seeing how it actually work in practice. You get practical experience on how it actually feels to be part of it. And next presentation comes from Jonas, streaming man. Do you need help in the streaming?
Most likely not.
Most likely not. It's okay, we can go back. So Jonas will actually explain, or the video will talk about what is actually content hacking.
Okay, so I'm talking about content hacking and how it helps with your selling your product or startup. So we start with a small video.
The mouse is not going under the video.
Vasempa.
You can use that mouse.
Content as a growth hacking method. Making content is one of the more efficient ways when wanting to create traction for your business. By making good content, it will make people interested in you and your services. This can be done by, for example, creating blog posts or videos. The content can be purely entertainment, or it can have an educational value, such as creating a tutorial on cooking, which might make the person interested in your recipe book. In addition to hacking your growth by creating the content, you can hack the content itself. By doing this, you maximize the effectiveness of your content. This can be done by doing such things as adding correct keywords to your blogs, using the correct imagery on your videos, or having a catching headline. How will you hack your content?
try it out yourself?
The content hacking. Yes, we have. So, the content. Everyone, you know that in the internet, content is king. You're constantly consuming content in some way, whether that's reading an article or news on the online news services, or you're watching videos, or watching a full-length movies. But how does this work for content? Because the content itself can be the product, but when your product is not the content, you can still use content as a way to advertise and use it as a growth hacking method. So, for example, if you have like a recipe book you want to sell, you could share some of your recipes, and people get interested, and they might be willing to buy the book. So your content has to be interesting, or if it's not interesting, nobody will get interested in your product. It also cannot be in conflict with your idea of your product. So if the content somehow displays some other ideas than your product would display, then there might be a conflict of interest. But also you have to know your audience, because you wouldn't want to do a growth hacking by showing meme pictures to senior citizens who are just interested in buying a recipe book. But anyway, we have several different ways you can make content growth hacking, and we are going to show you the next video about that.
All right, I think we have a change of presenters. So, Abra, you can make yourself. Let's give a big round of applause to Jonas. So Abra will now dive deeper into this.
I will.
Okay, yeah, I know. Don't play now.
Don't play it.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Abrar. Now as we are talking business, I'm an average business consumer. Every day I wake up in the morning, quite often I surf on the web. I browse through my mobile and check my social feed, and even when I'm walking or even when I'm cooking, there's some way I'm actually consuming content. How? Actively or passively. Active way when I'm searching for particular content, like I want to know about something, I'm searching it on Google or on even YouTube. How passively? I'm going through my Facebook feed and also my Instagram feed, some contents are coming up. When I'm cooking, when I'm walking on the street, I'm listening to music, or even maybe I'm checking podcasts. So when I'm checking those contents, as a business, you have my attention. And there's not only me. Actually, there is so many people out there, and the number is only increasing. So if you're a business person, and if you have a business, for that particular moment, you have the perfect attention of those consumers or customers. So how can you actually get into those attention span of those consumers, and how can you strategically attack those moments? Active and passive contents. So let's have a look.
If you're looking to hack your business growth in 2019, here are 3 content strategies for you. Number 1, the skyscraper technique. Create content that is 10 times better than the first, second, and third search results on Google. If the content is good, Google will rank you at the top. Number 2, content update. With almost billions of contents on the web, Google now only ranks contents that are the latest and greatest. So choose your best performing content and timely update it. Number 3, repurposing content into audio and video. Whatever blog content you're producing, convert them into podcasts and videos and spread across different channels. It's estimated that 80% of global internet consumption will be video content by 2019, and audio format consumption is on its rise.
Okay, can I? Okay, sure. Okay, so when you looked at the video, there was this one thing mentioned, that skyscraper technique. What actually means is that your content has to be really big, so that it's so big that your competitors actually cannot create similar kind of content. So what you have to do is actually research the top 3 contents on the web for your particular search, and make it be a good content through mentioning pictures, inserting pictures, charts, or even video content, so that whatever specific reason the user is actually searching for that particular content, they are satisfied with it, and with that kind of satisfaction, Google will think that it's the perfect content for that particular search. And another thing was mentioned about the timely updates. It has to be updated every single year or every single period. And for the third one was that if you have this giant content, you can easily break those contents into smaller contents and convert them into videos or even podcasts, so that people can actually consume those particular contents in through different media and in different times. And one thing that we couldn't really mention within these 60 seconds was that there is one very important technique that one can follow, which is actually a bonus thing, is that this mutual mention and mutual sharing. So I'll just give an example of it. If you have a restaurant, you can create a content about top 10 restaurants in the city. So in this way, you are actually mentioning your competitors as well. Well, you might say that why will you be mentioning our rivals, our competitors in this field? Well, the thing is, if you mention your competitors in the content, it's more likely that they will share your content because they have been mentioned. And as both of you actually have these similar target customers, they will reach to the desired customers. So that's all about it. Yeah.
All right, I think we have used the time. Maybe, Judge, you want to make a comment on this? I think it was a lot of pretty good insight in this video.
Yeah, sure.
Markus wants to make a note.
Have you tried these in practice, these methodologies that you mentioned?
Yes, actually we were using different kind of contents, like how we have this plan about 60 Edu that we will be converting them into podcasts. And one thing that we're thinking is that if you create really podcast of 1 minute, it doesn't really make sense. So what we'll do...
But did you try this skyscraper technique? You mentioned this 10 times better content than the others.
Yeah, that was a figure of speech, that 10 times. It doesn't necessarily have to be 10 times. But we have found out that this is the way actually to rank on Google. And whenever on...
Have you tried that in practice with some sort of blog?
No, not for this particular project, but we have practiced this on other projects that we have been I'm a student of digital marketing, so while we are doing other projects, we have been creating bigger content so that can rank on the top. But no, for this project, we haven't yet.
All right. Let's give a big round of applause. Thank you, Abra. And I believe that the next presentation is coming from dealing with social media and presented by Luigi and Teemu. And Luigi, also known as Luigi for those who cannot pronounce it Finnish way, and Teemu as Teemu is in Finland as well. Yeah. So guys, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Louis. And hi, my name is Teemu. Our video is about social media in general, and after the video we show you how we applied the concepts and the content of the video in the real world.
Hi, my name is Louis. I will tell you how to growth hack social media in 60 seconds. Let's start with the basics. Consider that people in social media have short attention span. You need to get their attention right away. Define your brand. Figure out who you are, what is your goal, and what do you offer. Act customer-oriented. Define your audience and listen to their feedback. They know what they want. That's all about the basics. Let's get started with the principles behind social media growth hacking. First, go for visuals for more attention. Use images and videos to gain attention. Try different things to get to know what your audience like. Growth hacking is about constant experimenting. Second, use a variety of platforms to publish your content, but focus on your strongest. Learn how they work and how they differ from each other. Companies offer great learning materials. Use hashtags in your postings to reach more and especially relevant people and schedule your content. Post frequently. Algorithms like that. In Facebook and Instagram, 2 posts a day, but in Twitter even more. Third, don't act like a machine. Be what you are, a human. Respond to comments and interactions. Interact with the community. Ask questions and stay in contact with your followers. Ask them to like, share and follow. Remember to focus on your goals when you publish content. Long story short, know your audience, experiment to get their attention, use different channels and be yourself.
We created social media accounts in Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn and Instagram. And as a result, it was really hard to get traffic on Facebook and LinkedIn. Unless you pay for ads or ask your Facebook friends to follow and like the page you want to promote. And in contrast to that, it was really easy to get followers on Instagram and Twitter. And all in all, we can say that you should focus on Instagram and Twitter for the beginning.
Yeah, if you don't have the money to use for the adding. And yes, about the content, we did like all the good little inbound marketers do. So we made a story of ourselves. We thought that we are a group of students trying to learn ourselves about the growth hacking, and then we were also really open about our goals, that we are trying to get traffic to our YouTube channel that can get people to view our videos. So in that way, we try to get people to trust ourselves, being open about our courses. About the content we did the out of informatic, like tips, like a Twitter post in there, the blue one, yeah. Also quotes and the memes. The memes were pretty popular, so people liked them pretty much. And also we tried to find all kind of popular hashtags that can reach our audience, like hashtag growth hacking, hashtag growth mindset, hashtag startup, and so on. And what we also did that we tried to we followed other we went to other people's accounts, commented to their posts, liked them to post and share their content. So in that way we tried to get people to come our account and raise awareness of ours. And what good results? We got pretty much followers on the Instagram, but we are not really sure that are they interested about our content, but just wanted to be followed back. And we also find out that it's very hard to get the people to the conversion you are trying to do. And in our cases, it's getting the people to go to YouTube and watch our videos. So what we managed to do is get the followers, but not the fans we are trying to get.
All in all, you can say it's really doubtful if the people who are following us are just interested in our topics or just following us because they want to be followed. So it's really hard to identify the main audience, and if you do this in a long-term run, it would be great to use statistics and a framework just to improve the process of publishing content. Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, thank you. Maybe we have a question from the audience or observation regarding the use of these social media tools. I heard one thing is that these tools, the logic changes. So once you learn it, and 3 months later, the algorithms have been changed or they develop further, and the old logic doesn't work. You have to constantly, in a way, be on guard on how the actually system itself behaves.
Yeah, in my opinion, the growth hacking is have to be seen as a process that is constant, so you can adjust to the changes of the environment.
Exactly, that's one of them. And the basis for your analysis would be then that you would have very quick analysis of what has happened.
Of course, when you're doing the hacks,
then you can change.
Yeah, when you're doing the hacks, you get the statistics and adjust your behavior by that.
All right.
Data.
Are we happy to move on?
Yeah, if you are.
Luigi and Teemu, thank you so much. And our next presentation comes from the Furkan, and it is the famous search engine optimization, which is a topic that interests many people. So, Furkan, please.
Hello everyone. My name is Furkan Jimmy, and I'm going to show you how can we apply search engine optimization on our website. But first we have a look at the video that includes some tips and tricks to apply that on the website. So. Okay, we have seen 6 tips and tricks to apply that on the website. Now I'm going to show you some practical tutorial how we can apply that on our website. So we have developed our website for this startup lab and 60edu on WordPress. So first of all, I downloaded one of the plugins for SEO optimization. After installing that plugin, I used that plugin to optimize our website through configuration wizard. I applied that on each and every component of our website. After that, I used the social tool of our SEO optimization to connect that to our different
now you can say the password there and it will be typed.
Should I?
Yes, maybe you type it. It's not very secure way of transferring it in by. In Finland it would be salasana, for those who don't know. The most famous. So we have a technical break. In the meanwhile, how do you cover how familiar are with the search engine optimization techniques? I mean, is this something that you actually deal in your coaching or at?
Not really. Not much.
Yeah.
Yes, been doing some. But lately, actually.
Yeah.
Doing some indexing.
It's becoming more and more important in a way that knowing these techniques, and there are plugins available. So it's interesting to see how it actually works.
Okay. So here we used the social tool of our SEO optimizer, and we incorporate each of our social web pages from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and our YouTube URL through that SEO social tool. After that, I go to the page and use the same technique that is for social search engine optimization, and use that on our web page. Now this is the part which is shown in the Google search result. There are three components of this part. First is the SEO title, then its slug, and then there is meta description. We can edit each of these parts by editing these fields. So these are important because growth hacking was our main motivation and main idea. So I have tried to round it about the growth hacking things. So the growth hacking is appeared in all three of that, and I have tried to write the meta description according to growth hacking. After that, I applied the readability analysis. So the results are quite promising. We can see that we have used a good meta description for our website, and used a good SEO title. And then we used our focus key phrase, which is growth hacking. And then we see how it is applied in our metadata, and we can see that we have also used very a good key phrase for our growth hacking key.
Did you check the popularity of those keywords from Google?
The popularity, yeah, I have seen the growth hacking is a very popular word. There were also some synonyms which we can use in our case, but growth hacking was the most suitable as per.
Are we now overtaking the land of Google with our? So how does it work now? Is it how well are we found in Google right now?
We are well found through this one. You can see that this is the bold part. So we have used the growth hacking here and here. So we have tried to optimize.
So how are your stats? Have they improved since you added this plugin?
These are the analysis.
But the statistics about
no, we have not submitted the
visitors.
website to any indexing services. We have not submitted that.
You said it takes 3 months.
Yeah, it takes 3 months, so that's why.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you type that manually, all those articles that you have been putting?
What?
Have you been putting those new blog articles manually into your Google Search Console?
Yeah.
So it's quite a bit of manual labor.
Yes.
This optimization work.
And you still mean it takes 3 months? Even
Yeah,
you put them, even if
for
you
indexing.
Even if you're indexing manually them on Search Console.
For search engine indexing, if we submit that to Google through Google authentication, then it takes 3 months almost. Yeah. Search.
So not much growth hacking happening there.
No,
I didn't know this. What is the reason for the delay? Is it just a big system or technically?
Yeah, they see the privacy issues and authentication type of thing. So that's why it's delayed.
All right, but we are running out of time. Furkan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we are learning new things. And we are already halfway through. The final half will come now. We will have Joni Kultanen on email marketing. So Joni, please.
Okay, thank you. And evening everyone. So as Pekka said, the topic is email marketing, which is one of the more traditional ways of doing growth hacking, but it also can be done well or poorly. And let's first watch a video on what you should consider when doing email marketing.
Hi, my name is Louis and I will tell you how to growth hack email marketing in 60 seconds. Let's start with the basics. Email marketing allows you to meet customers more regularly and more effective as a conventional marketing campaign. Results are easy to measure and you can use the findings for your next campaign. It allows you to personalize the emails through the different types of target groups, e.g. personalized salutations and different kind of contents. That will lead that the effect will be higher. Enough with the basics, let's continue with the principles behind email marketing growth hacking. First,
Choose a fitting subject that arouses the attention of the customer and call him to actions. Notify him if you offer ebooks or a seminar. Use pictures to visualize your offer. Second, keep the content short and simple. Address the problems and interests of the customers. And don't advertise your own company. Think customer-oriented. Make use of pictures and don't write too much. Use bullet points to keep your message clean. Third, don't send your emails at weekends and after 5 p.m. It's more effective to experiment and choose the right time, depending on your target audience. In short, arouse the attention of the customer and call him to action. Keep your message short and clear, and experiment the perfect moment for sending your newsletter.
As a future education platform, we are building for people to learn about interesting stuff easily. First on growth hacking, later on it could be broadened to basically any field of education. And for the students again, the focus was more on growth hacking. So we didn't promote the education, except for the fact that if you know what growth hacking is or don't want to learn more, this is an easy to approach way to do it in 60 seconds. Just pick your topic and go. And we followed the instructions. Both of the emails, they were really brief and concise. We tried to minimize the effort to access the content by doing this. So you just read a short email, don't get flooded with the information, and hopefully read it through and click the link. And also, the emails were sent early noon on Monday, so we didn't waste anyone's weekend. And the time was selected so that the target audiences would be either at work already or studying. But the first lesson we learned, it wasn't a fun lesson. We learned that whenever you're doing email marketing, always make sure that you have all the rights required to send your email to a certain list. Well, we didn't. So the students didn't get the email, but the staff did. So we were halfway there. But even though the students didn't get it, it gained pretty good traction from the staff. And with the clicks through our bit.ly link, we achieved 20% of the number of the staff of IT faculty, which is really good.
30%?
20.
20, pretty good.
Yeah. So I would say in this case we chose the approach how to, well, a good approach for the target audience, like interesting topic related to the work. So this could be an easier task with this kind of educational material and the target.
So was it sent, what was the sender's email address? So was it like?
It was University of Jyväskylä.
Yeah, that's quite obvious, so it's more familiar, so
yeah.
It comes from
it
the
came
staff
from
itself.
Inside, yeah. So that is also a good observation, that if you send to very unknown people some information or advertisement, it wouldn't necessarily work so easy. But we chose these target audiences based on the access to these lists, so that we could reach the audience.
And you were not able to reach the other half of the
yes.
audience. All right, good experiment. Do you still have something to say?
A little. The majority of the clicks from the staff also, it came on the day we sent the email. So from this we could deduct that if you send something to someone's working email, they are either going to read it at the same day and click the link or not at all, pretty much. And even if it was unfortunate that we only got the other half, also the failure was a nice learning experience, or a good one. Maybe not so nice.
All right. Let's just pause here for a second and turn judges. You guys received also email.
Yeah.
Yes.
You also send. Well, I do send.
I have anecdotal because I always think about how the subject line is formed. It's very important. So I tried to market one of the courses before. I put there that this course will change your life, and 5 people.
Can you say how many unread emails I have there?
I think that's
23,285 and counting.
But if you take a
That's
look at
Northern Hemisphere, you know.
if you take a look at that one, then you will learn the new number.
31,000. Yeah, we have a top dog here.
All right. Anyway, so we do receive a lot of emails. So I think this is very valuable content that you actually sharing, and a lot to learn. Even the short experiment already gave interesting insight. Any observations you have other than millions of emails?
So what's your take-home points in regard to GDPR?
GDPR?
Yeah.
Well, it makes things a lot tougher if you are not sending it to some entity you work on yourself. So if we had tried to collect email addresses from people, we would have been in deep trouble during our short time we had to use for this.
Yeah, I think emailing can be more effective when you're visiting on some, for example, some web stores.
Yeah.
And you can have, follow-ups. Hey, are you still interested about, this device that you visited a while back? So then you can get the better, retention.
Let's move on. Thank you so much, Joni. Well done. And please, audience, locally here, use the servings that we have at the bar. All right, we have something different. We go now offline, and it's called offline marketing, and the presenter is Polina. Please. Don't stop.
Okay, so now we're gonna show you how we use offline marketing, and in this video we basically combined. We didn't do it all theoretical. It's based on our actual experience. So let's see how it went. Hi. In this video we're gonna tell you how you can do offline advertising in an unconventional way. So let's get started. To demonstrate it better in practice, I will go through one promotional offline campaign that we recently did. For this campaign, we decided to make a poster with a QR code on it that will bring users to our website when it is scanned with a QR code reading application. To get track of how many views our campaign will generate, we made a unique link to our website in order to see how much traffic our poster will be getting in real time. Bitlinks is an amazing tool for this. After getting the link, we could start making a QR code. With Unitex software, we were able to fully customize it in terms of colors and appearance. So now when we have a QR code, the next step was to make a poster. For our project, we have used a design tool called Canva. It is quite easy to use, and there are lots of templates to choose from. Our goal was to bring as many audiences as possible, so we decided to design a poster in an unconventional way. No text or any information about the project, only a QR code and a cat. We also left a message on our landing page for those who actually scans the code and comes to the website, so that the landing page message is in line with our ad. Finally, we spread it as many posters as possible. We tried to choose places where many people can see them. When it was done, the only thing left was to wait and track the results. One good idea might be to make several different posters with unique QR codes and links to see which design works best and generates more users. right now, since like our campaign is over, we can look back at the results. And well, we were like, since it was only 2 days, or no, it was around 4 days that posters have been spreaded like across university. We got around 20 users coming to the website, so we were pretty happy with the results, even though after looking back at the campaign, we can say that if we had more time and it would be nice to experiment with different designs, and also our design was not the best, but we had to think fast, so that's what we made. But we learned that maybe making this kind of poster is not so good because people are reluctant to scan random codes without knowing like where they will actually come to. So it would be nice to place some university logo at least, or something, some maybe more clear message. But yeah, since it was an unconventional way of doing offline marketing, that's how we did it. And yeah, that's basically it. If you have any questions.
I'm sure we have an observation here. Very interesting. I think I like the fact that there were 3 tools. 3 simple tools used effectively. Bit.ly allows you to actually track, to see how many clicks you get. Margus makes an observation.
Yeah, Polina, we are starting to like you.
Thank you.
You are starting to impress us.
So how many clicks did you get? 20, you said?
Around 20, yeah.
Just to have the barcode there and scan me.
Yeah. That's what we did.
I suspect that there's a security risk.
Yeah.
To scan. So.
But actually, when you scan, you first see the website where it goes, and then only you can click.
So there's, in a way, that's yeah. Maybe it was the cat that drew the attention.
Build trust.
So what is the principal learning that is, your takeaway from this offline experiment?
Well, it works. I think this is the main learning, that you never, like, first thing when it comes to marketing, you think about online advertising, but this is not online. It's just something different, but it works, and people actually look at it and scan it, and even if it takes time.
And you had it on the notice boards, because I think that's kind of a boring place to have it. Did you try other places?
Yeah, we spreaded them on the table as well, like some tables where students just hang around. So yeah, but yeah, we tried to find some places, not because these information posters. But there we actually put 3 of them in a row so that they get some attention and kind of stand out from other posters.
I think the information posters are for those messages that should not be read.
Yes, and that's why I thought it's kind of boring. And I would have tried like restrooms or toilets and unordinary places.
Yeah, but we didn't really want to spam around because and don't annoy people too much. So that's why we were kind of a bit.
But I like it because it's visual. You can actually tailor the visualization of that tag, and then you can. It's in your hands actually. It's not in Google's hands.
Yeah, and you don't.
You take the control of making.
Very interesting.
Yeah, you don't show it directly to someone's face, and the user has to decide if he wants to scan it.
Maybe we have become fans of offline marketing.
Well, that's just.
Polina, thank you so much. All right, so now we have something different to be shown. As I said, that in this course we also try to help people by actually learning experience in a different way. So we have actually gamified it. We have 2 board games, and the first one will be presented by Luigi and the team. Are you guys coming?
Yeah.
What is happening now? All right, guys. We'll do something slightly different.
Our team also had Jonas, but he has something else to do, so we are with Louis. Sorry, Louis. Yes. Okay.
How to play growth hacking the game. At the beginning of the game, choose your field from tech, service and entertainment. The game lasts 10 turns. 1 turn represents 1 week. The goal is to reach 5,000 followers by the end of the game. You start with $5,000, which will be used throughout the game. If you run out of money, you lose the game. Game has hack cards, event cards and employee cards. The game starts by revealing the event card, which has special rules for that turn. Then, you reveal 3 hack cards.
You may choose to play the cards by paying the cost and rolling the dice. Successful hack cards can give you money and followers, and failing the hack has negative effects. At the end of the week, reveal an employee card. You may hire the employees by paying the salary immediately. You then start paying the employee each week before the event card is revealed. If you want to fire the employee, you have to pay the severance fee. After you have hired the employee, the turn ends and a new week starts. Pay the employee and reveal an even card, and so on. The game ends when the turns have passed, or if the team runs out of money or has gained 5,000 followers. You can download the game from the link below. Thanks for watching.
Link below. I wonder how low.
It's not offline, it's online. So in this game we like to have the most, as many as possible components from the real life, like employees and hack and sudden events that can affect your hacking. And we also choose the 1 week cycle of doing things, because in fact the growth hacking team of the Twitter uses the 1 week cycle in the real life, but they do 10 hacks per week. We do 2 on 3 because it would make the game a little bit complicated.
Yes, and we also played this game with the others, and it was really fun, and it was really challenging too. So I think it's a good representation of the real world, because also in the real world it's really hard to get the followers, and you run really fast out of money. So created a really cool game and realistic one, I think.
Yeah, the dice will tell you that because also in real life there is possibility that the hack will not work at all.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's this side.
All right, thank you. I think that we will stop here, and this game is already made available. It's an excellent way to have a bit of fun, learning some of the concepts and actually some techniques discussed. And I really liked that. I played as well. I think we won the board. You play against the board.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we got 5,000 followers, and we are not yet taking the questions from the audience because we have to rush on. And thank you guys, well done. And now we have the second board game, and let me welcome again Paulina and the team up here. So.
Do you want to see the video first?
Yeah, I think we can watch the video first.
In this video we're going to tell you how we made a growth hacking game in 60 seconds. First, we had to think about the concept. Will it have a board? Is it a role-play game or a team-play game? One useful tip may be to think about the games you know and how you can utilize their game rules and dynamics. In our case, we took Monopoly game as a basis, but changed the settings and content, for example by adding a role-play component to it, different final goal, as well as rules and overall dynamics. The most important step was to create card contents and distribution of points the players will be getting, as well as the board itself and its fills. We decided that the ultimate goal for the game will be reaching 5,000 customers. To do that, the majority of the board fills represented different growth hacking techniques of 3 levels that the players could learn or acquire, for example display advertising, email marketing, PR and others, and later use for gaining customers. Although, to create random factors in the gameplay, some external forces were integrated through problems and solution cards. When the content and prototype were ready, it was time for the final design. An appealing design needed to be created with clean layout and vibrant colors. Then we tested it several times with different amount of players and adjusted the dynamics and rules.
250.
Yeah, but you had 100.
Okay. The car.
Sucker.
It is easier to do it when you see how it works in practice and the players like more.
difficult step was the first one, when we actually had to think through how the game will go and what people will do during their move, what options they will have, and so on. But yeah, finally we've done this, and we hope that players can actually learn something after playing this game.
How long did it take to develop the game?
Yeah, so the main problem was during the game was while we were tasting it that it was taking too long, and our goal was to get to 5,000 customers, and we realized that after playing for almost 2 hours, we reached only to 1,500 customers. So like the goal was too long to really get the game continuing, and also we realized that actually we are getting the customers, but at the same time the main idea behind this game was to actually so that we could learn what is growth hacking. So we try to integrate the learnings within the cards so that if the person is sitting and if he's some kind of specialist and getting some kind of cards, so he can flip it over and actually learn different techniques. So while they're playing, they can also learn different techniques. So that's the thing we try to integrate.
From a technical point of view, I think there was room for introducing more randomness in the game, and that would make the game more difficult. And actually we use the dice for throwing that, and you know that dice is uniformly distributed, and we can use different type of random distributions to introduce more randomness into the game. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. We can after this presentation we can take a look at the game actually in a physical space, and it also is available online in Fixshare, or will be at least tomorrow. But thank you so much. Now we still have 4 more, and then we are done. So 4 more, let's squeeze it in. Next one, we do something completely different. We now demonstrate that the 60 Edu concept works in any content. It's not only growth hacking, it's actually we can hack any content with this. So now, Kai Christian Kemel, please.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I am Kai Christian, and good evening to also the people watching online, including perhaps some of the guys and gals from the Software Startup Research Network. We need to talk about a lot of growth hacking, but as mentioned, 60 Edu is not just about startups and growth hacking, so I'm here to talk about something completely different, so to say. And let's show a demonstration of what kind of other videos can be found on 60 Edu, and then let's get to this topic.
Why do we need ethics in AI development? Reason number 1. Because AI systems make decisions on their own. For example, self-driving cars scan their surroundings all the time and act based on what's happening around them. They react by making decisions based on what they have been taught or what they have learned. So, you're driving around in your new self-driving car and it's about to hit the pedestrian. It's too late to brake. Should the car hit the pedestrian, or should it try to save the pedestrian by driving off the cliff to the right and risk your life instead? As a passenger, you'd probably want to know what it will do in the situation and why. And no matter what happens in that situation, someone is responsible. These systems need to be transparent so that we can tell why they do things in different situations. Reason number 2. Because AI systems are soon everywhere. Most sophisticated recommendation systems, like the one in Netflix, use AI to go through the mountains of data they have. Autonomous cars are entering the roads. AI systems are used to go through job applications, like at Amazon recently, but that didn't go very well. AI systems are changing our society. They aren't just normal software products that you can simply not use if you don't like them. They will affect everyone. Even if you don't own a self-driving car, you will be driving on the roads with them. That's why developing them isn't like developing your average mobile application. You have to consider the effects and act responsibly. Even if you don't want to, laws like the GDPR will soon force you to.
Alright, so as could be seen in the video, ethics in AI is not just about these doomsday scenarios with Terminators and other killer robots and whether they should kill humans and all that kind of thing. Nor is it about what happens when we reach singularity by developing this kind of AI that can keep improving itself and rendering humans obsolete by not having us have to invent anything anymore. Now, it is about those things, but it's also something that's already an issue and something that affects everyone. As could be seen, AI systems are different from normal software. If you don't like Uber or you don't like Tinder, you can just not use them. And they have a very limited effect on you. Maybe if you're a taxi company, then Uber might affect you, but as a person on the streets, you can simply get a normal cab. But when it comes to AI systems, you can't stop companies from filtering your job application with an AI system if they want to. And you can't stop security cameras from observing you using facial recognition and AI. So these systems affect everyone, but what can we actually do? Well, just like any other software, AI systems are still developed by people, at least nowadays, because they don't develop themselves yet. So if we want to have an effect, if we want to tackle ethical issues and other issues in these systems, we should take it to the people and the organizations developing these systems. And that is exactly the point of view we have taken at the Startup Lab. We have taken a developer-centric view on the ethics of AI, and our goal is to teach developers why ethics matters and to also tell them how to take it into account in practice during development. To this end, one thing we have been developing is a card deck based on the essence theory of software engineering. This card deck is intended to teach developers, one, why ethics matters, and two, how to implement into the development and design process. With these cards, they don't give you the right answer, because there's hardly ever a universally correct answer in ethics. They ask you the right questions so that you can make the decision you think is right. Apart from these cards, we have also been looking at the current state of practice. So how do these organizations developing AI and AI-related software, how do they take ethics into account now? What methods do they use? What tools do they use? Or do they really care? Is it just the developers maybe thinking about what kind of things should we do? And from the developer's point of view, of course, this is also interesting, because even if you don't necessarily care too much about what is the right thing to do, as mentioned, laws like the GDPR and other regulations will probably soon force you to. So these are issues that we wish to tackle, and we hope that through this research that is ongoing, we can in the future provide us all with more responsible AI systems. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that we give a big round of applause. Well done. So here's an example presenting one of our big major research streams that we are undertaking. Now promising the 3 final ones, and now we are showing an example of how the 60edu concept can be used to also provide quite practical advice. And I believe Jonas has something to show. And then we are almost to the end of our presentations. Should I start talking here, or? All right. Jonas will now surprise and teach you how to make a transparent LCD monitor, which all of you want to do.
So the idea behind this video is to showcase what is the purpose of the 60edu and what different kind of things you can do with it. So far we have talked about growth hacking and startups, but the 60edu is going to be much more than just that. First, start by disassembling the LCD. Remove both the plastic and the metal casings around the screen. Make sure you do not damage the board nor the connections. Remove the actual LCD, but be careful, as it can be very fragile. Next, we have to remove the anti-glare layer from the screen, which we can do by placing a wet towel on the LCD for a few hours to soften the layer. I also recommend putting some tape around the boards just to be safe. Now it's time to remove the layer.
Start by peeling it off carefully, but make sure you do not also remove the polarization filter, which is under the anti-glare. And finally, your transparent LCD is ready to be used. If you are interested in more projects like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. So the point of showing this video, well, it was not to actually teach you how to make LCD.
Come on, that is exactly the point.
Yeah, it was to demonstrate what different kinds of things 60edu is about. So, like I said, we have been talking about growth hacking and startups, and for now, the aim is to teach you more about those stuff. But in the future, we will expand our ideas and the concept of 60edu to be more have more wide variety of topics, like having tutorials, have tech videos, maybe history stuff, infographics, and so on. So it won't just be about startups. It will be about everything. But of course, now currently we are branding the 60edu everything under the same brand. But in the future, when we have more stuff, we will create different channels. So we would have 60edu tech, 60edu history, 60edu startups.
Ladies
so
and gentlemen,
yeah.
Jonas Himmonen. And now, because now everybody is super excited about this 60edu, now we will teach you how to do that in 60 seconds. The next 60 seconds is for how to actually you can do this. And after that, we have, of course, we are ending with the big bang, and then we have a panel. And let me move, and let you guys see. And this is done by from the lab, Anssi. Anssi couldn't be here today, but we have the video, so let's see it. Ever completely and purely a design course that he will start running in March 2019. So, Johan, you have the final word before the panel.
Thank you. So my name in Twitter is Jean d'Arc, so Architecte de la Liberté. You certainly can write, and you certainly can read, but do you understand what you write and read? Can you design? If you can design, you understand what you can read and you can write. So we are starting the Fuzzy Front-End course in March, the second week, and you can see that it's all the time we are constructing it on your right side in direction 200. So we are working with it. And what does it mean? It means that we are trying to teach you form giving with all our means. For example, like this, or like this. Then we are going to show you what is a new technology and what is an old technology. You can use this very well, and this is a battery, well, very small, but it's a generator. But now we have better means to show you what is really important. We have very good phones, so they are last very long time, so it's very good. We are teaching that also. Then we are teaching in fuzzy front end when to ask the user and when not to ask the user. You know, Nokia asked the users, Steve Jobs not. Which company exists? So this is very important. And now let's take a look at the video. The voice. A new design course starts at the University of Jyväskylä. It's open for all the students at the academia, teachers, folklorists, engineers, psychologists, writers, humanists, computer science. During the course, we study design, drawing, sketching, prototyping, embedding software and technologies to artifacts, concepting smartphone applications, embedding code to high heels, transforming a Dior handbag to a scanner. We learn philosophies of design, design thinking, future forecasting, processes, tools for design, visualization, ethics of designing the future, steampunk. Just sign in to the Fuzzy Front End design course at the University of Jyväskylä. Startup Lab is the place. Welcome. So the phone that you saw there is not so bad, basically. This is a very good phone. I have been working with this on my teams. We made 30 billion euros with this phone. So quite good. So now I'm going to show you a bit what is design. So it means that now I'm going to show you, you can clearly understand when I draw here what it is. So now I'm drawing here. You don't see anything? Why? Do you know? The main thing on Earth is that there is a number which is 12. It's 12 millimeters. It's the thickest pen in academia to show. I have other kind of pens. This is 4 centimeters. This is the only way to start to make form giving. There are plenty of things that you can do when we show you how to draw. When you read and write, you certainly have problems to understand things. So we have to start with the basics, the simple things. First of all, if you have a letter like this, so it's sans serif letter, without serifs. This is times. So that you have an underline here when you put the I here, so you have the underlining. That's by Times. The magazine, the Times wanted to have a new letter and font and typeface, that it's easier to read when you have underlining. And from reading tests, the Helvetica, Arial and Calibri is as good as Time, those serifs ones. So we tried at Nokia when we planned our own font. Then you have to free your hand. So first of all, you can have several different, how to say, magnitudes. First I have this kind of my whole hand is moving. Then I'm moving it like this, and like this, and like this. And it takes about some minutes when you keep your pen and pencil in the right way. It's like the, how to say, dirigent holds the baton in the orchestra very smoothly, beautifully, just like a long tobacco as women used during the Art Nouveau times. So it means that it's you hardly press it. It's very softly here. All right. Till in the end, first we take the academia, then we take the big corporations, and then we take the dark side of the moon. Thank you.
And big round of applause. Juhani. And unlike you may think, this course is for real. It starts in 1 month. And it's open for all students at JAMK or University of Jyväskylä. But hey, has been exciting hour, we take a 1 minute break, so the judges can now come up for the panel. We will be shortening the panel for few questions, so we have few ideas. We invite one of the students, also Abra, to join the panel. And I asked the jury to come here on the stage and stay within the markers, so we stay in the camera. So please, may I kindly ask you to come here?
No.
Yes.
Shall we discuss before?
first.
No, but the panel is a panel discussion. And then we have please join. And please here. On the stand, all of us behind, maybe behind the that's okay. And I can be here on the side. Is it good? Are we all visible? All right, Abra, you come here as well. Maybe you go next to the two judges here, in the middle, so we're mixing and matching a bit. Excellent. So, one thing that I said in the beginning, and one thing that I said in the beginning today, I said that the startup courses rarely comes out startup. So maybe I'm just really bad teacher, or is it something that I should worry or we should worry? What do you say? I know.
I think the couple of things that I had in mind was that there was how to really reach the scale, and I mean in terms of marketing, there's a lot of marketing and so I would have loved to see more of the essence of how to really reach the scale fast, which is everybody was kind of like targeting it, but it was really nothing new, and they were using pretty common methods, but there were a couple of good ones which we probably will release later on.
It will be rewarded.
So yeah.
The reports are coming, but Marcus, what do you say that typically when you run a course on startups, the startups are not coming out of the course? What is
well, it's a question of who actually founds a successful startup. So it is kind of a meta discussion about the matter. So it's basically we have kind of a wrong assumption that startups are born out from young Neros of their 20s. It's not actually. Statistics say that on average a successful a startup is founded by it was something like 42-year-old male. So it on average it means like you gotta have 15 to 20 years of expertise from a certain field, or you may have been studying something as a postdoc or something like that, and then you after 10 or 15 years you start commercializing something.
So what is the
it's a hell of a tough job.
It's a tough job, but what is the value in us giving a startup course as the startups, it takes another 20 years before they come out, and Marik has a say now.
It can be like a simulation of a real world. They can still try it and taste it, that how could it be, even though it's not actual yet a reality right after the course or right after studying. So at least they get a taste of it. So it's a simulation.
Yeah.
I have another question, as I'm wondering, and we can come back to that.
Hey, one more thing.
You can add one more thing.
Yeah, you can utilize these tools on your work life. For example, if you're going to employ to IBM, and you can challenge these big corporations, and you can take these methodologies. So it doesn't necessarily you have to invent a new startup. You can get employed into some corporation or government, officials or something like that, or go into some already existing company, and you can utilize these tools.
All right, I have a question for Abrar, as he has been the participant in the course learning about growth hacking. So what's your take on the learning from the course? What is the biggest thing that you are now possessing?
Okay, I think for me, I was a marketing student before, and now doing this course, I realized, is that there used to be a division between product development and marketing. I think with this recent trend of growth hacking, it's diffusing the border in between. And product development should be integrated with marketing while developing the product. And growth hacking is something that happens after the product is released. I think gone are those days when you can produce any kind of product and sell it. And I think at the very beginning we were thinking about who would be our target audience, like in terms of marketing literature, it would be like product market fit, whether this content will be really valuable to our target audience or not. And because it's really that important, because I think, well, when we are actually trying to hack it, it's actually going for the early adopters who are curious, like the QR code thing that we tried. Actually, the curious people will be going there. They are ready to test different things. So when they're doing it, and growth hacking, we should be focusing on those that segment of population, because they are the early adopters and they will be the brand advocates, whatever we'll be producing, maybe suggesting some other people. So having that kind of thing in mind, I think will help.
Thank you, Abrar. I said early on that I wrote this article on LinkedIn today where I claimed that growth hacking is the new oil. And
it's the new black.
And Markus says...
I have been correcting you 3 times already.
I think that I will go and change the title in that blog writing. But what do you have any opinions on this? Is it the new thing?
I don't think it's a new thing, but it's new that it's so widely started to spread so widely. So like your lab, this is exactly the right direction, and it needs guys like Markus, who's really helping the companies to start from the product and the first phases then upwards, because that's very important, and that's where you need the seniority and expertise, and that's probably why the age for the startups and the people behind it is kind of like 42 years. So it needs both. It needs the innovation, the new ideas, fresh ideas, but it also needs somebody who is really senior to take those further and take those dips down from right to the the pathway which is up.
Mari, you wanted to comment on this?
Yes, for me as marketing person, much of this what is growth hacking sounded like marketing, as you kind of nicely also said. But of course some parts there are also new to the world, like search engine optimization and things in there, they are new to the world. But I'm really happy that now the marketing part of in a startup, also with the term growth hacking, with the new label, it comes to a front, and that's good.
All right, let's take a question from the audience. If we have anybody, so let's take 2. So 1, Hura, please.
It's what I see from most of the startups, because I had also myself several episodes of being in a startup, different startups. I want to ask from the coaches that how you see the element of fun, because it's nowadays everyone talking about the videos, like most of these videos looks very professional, very business-wise, very marketing-wise, but I'm sorry, maybe all of you might hate me, but it lacks element of fun.
Yes, we hate you
nowadays, nowadays,
we liked you before.
More followers, if you want to catch the attention, you need to have some expertise in fun. You might need a humorous person in your groups to just pay attention to attract people's attention. So this is what am I
It's
asking?
an excellent question, and Abrar, are you not a fun person?
That depends on the situation, actually.
So, but why did you not target as funness of the video, if that's an English word? I just invented a new word.
Yeah. I'd say, that's the day actually we decided about the idea that we'll be going with this. Every time we are kind of iterating our ideas. Like every video is coming up like a better version of the previous one. So we are trying our best, understanding that what kind of contents actually users are liking, and from our feedbacks. So it's a nice input that we should be putting the fun element into our videos so that it is more engaging and attracts more.
You don't need to be impolite, because most of the time you think that fun should be like impolite to attract attention.
No, definitely not.
But I mean, like you can put some simply like emojis, and I like the idea of Mari to put things in the toilet. Yeah, just spread your advertisement.
We are thinking about it.
Unexpected places. Yeah.
we're thinking about it, but we're thinking like, are we even allowed to? Like,
I think that if you put it inside the toilet, that would be like the place to be.
You need to be abruptive if you want to be
we
successful.
tried to make it a bit fun with the QR code thing with the cat picture, so that people would be interested.
Markus, you wanted to say something here.
Well, basically, you got a point there, because of when we are making, decisions to buy something, we try to rationalize them. But basically, if I want to buy some new BMW, so there's no logical reason to buy one, right? So every purchases that we are actually buying are based on our feelings and our gut feelings, and if you can somehow harness that power into your videos and into marketing, then you're on the right path.
I make all my decisions based on pure logic.
Well, only of psychopaths are based on the logic.
And now cut.
But the rest of it, 97% are based on feelings.
And it's kind of like referring to your comment. I had 2 startups, 2003, 2004, around until the subprime.
So in the Stone Age.
Stone Ages. We had a kind of like prehistoric version of Tinder, without iPhones, without Facebook, and then we had this Spotify, which we actually tried to sell to Nokia for the media team with the band. So the fun part, we had too much fun. If we would have used that money to marketing, I probably wouldn't standing here. I would be probably somewhere else.
So
we had too much fun.
So you was into startup in early 2000 that you spend all money into weed and all kind of entertainment
Not
systems.
weed.
And no?
I'm IBM.
IBM. Beep. Yeah, not in this sense. So cut. So reward,
Cut.
We have to
now we are getting
design
wild.
a time machine here.
We have a proper question also. Now no more those comments. Now a new question.
This line is passing from.
No, it was completely great question. I really valued it.
I'm joking.
Now, please go ahead.
I'd like to play
Guys.
I'd like to play the devil's advocate. So what is so new? I mean, what I see is right now I see viral marketing, digital marketing, social media marketing, and product design. So are you selling old wine in new bottles, or so what is so special about growth hacking?
All right. Is it this that we're just spending last hour by watching something that from prehistoric years? Abra, save us.
I think when we were presenting, the basic proposition wasn't more like what are the exact tools what are the exact tactics you can apply. It's more like being aware of what are the tools out there actually you can implement. We all know you can do email marketing, but how to do it right, and there are different ways you can actually do it. So,
but can you not label this as strategic digital marketing?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I understand. So, I think there is a difference between growth hacking and normal marketing. In a sense, growth hacking is marketing on low budget. Big corporations can actually hire big billboards or maybe show some ads on. Okay. Anyways, or maybe put some ad on.
Not anymore.
and also maybe put some ad during Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, but as a new business, you cannot actually do that. So I think growth hacking as a concept originated to actually support startups, how they can use existing tools that are online and how you can actually get those customers.
As a professor, I would say I concur. And now that I've said that, let's thank our panelists for a great discussion. Well done, thank you so much. Now I ask the panelists to get together and decide about the winner.
Shall we leave for a while there?
You can go in my room.
Your room?
Yes.
You have your own room?
Yes, I have my room. And while you are there, let me please ask Jonas, could you bring up back the voting address for people to vote? And here you have it. So please, audience online as well, please make your decision soon, because in 5 minutes' time we will be knowing who are the winners. And for this, I would like to conclude. I thank you, the online audience, for being with us, and we will continue evening here in Jyväskylä with the award ceremony and some networking activities. Let's give a big round of applause to all people who have been online with us. Thank you so much. And now I believe we can end the online